I wonder what's going on with my. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to Life on Track. I'm having some internet issues right now, but hopefully they're all done. I'm going to go to my Facebook page and change it to go live. Let's see. Let me refresh. And let's see. Yay. Okay, see you guys. All right, so let me change it to public from friends only. Edit audience, public, save. All right, welcome everybody to the Life on Track Coaching Agency. I'm so excited about this, you guys. Super excited about this. So I founded the agency about a month and a half ago, and we have the most amazing coaches and speakers here with us today. I'm going to interview a few of the coaches in the agency. They're absolutely spectacular. And then I'm going to do another Facebook Live on Friday to introduce some more. So today we have the pleasure of Andy and Shalene and Joshua and Lisa. And I'm going to introduce one at a time so that you guys get to know these coaches, why they do what they do, and we'll get into supporting you with what we have to offer. And if there's anybody listening that wants to be a coach and become a certified coach, I offer that as well. You can join the Life on Track Coaching Agency, and I will train you on how to be an amazing coach. Or if you want to grow your company, if you're already a coach and you want to scale to 6 figures and get out of your 9-to-5 job, I can help you with that too, and certify you as a life coach through the Life on Track Coaching Agency and speaking from my stages. And it's so much fun. I'm so excited about this whole thing. All right. So Andy, we're going to start with you. Let me read your bio. All right. So Andy Nam is a dynamic life coach specializing in functional nutrition and longevity, a best-selling international author, and a passionate biohacker on a mission to help others reclaim their health and thrive. After conquering a life-altering accident and years of chronic pain, Andy co-founded Chronically Healthy Life with his wife, Mina, to inspire vibrant, long-lasting wellness. Renowned for his expertise in stem cell health, detoxification, and holistic vitality, Andy energizes audiences to live longer, healthier, and joy-filled lives. Welcome, Andy.
Welcome. Thanks for having me on Life on Track Coaching.
So excited about this. So the first question that I ask everybody since 2010 when I started interviewing people is, how did you get into doing what you're doing and why? And then what inspired you to join the Life on Track Coaching Agency?
Of course. I guess my journey started sort of one of those journeys that it was, I had a major car accident when I was younger, and which led to a lot of chronic pain, a lot of pain medications. And, over 20 years, my health got worse and worse. I got an accident on graduating year of high school. But by the time I was in my late 30s, early 40s, I could barely get out of bed. I was addicted to pain medication. I couldn't sit for any longer than 10 minutes at a time or stand for 10 minutes at a time. And I could see how I was affecting my wife. I did marry my sweetheart after all. And, it came to a point I was just asking all the specialists. I said, well, what can I look forward to? I've been struggling with this for 20 years. What can I look forward to in the next 10 to 20 years? And he said, well, you're doing pretty good. It could only get worse at this point. And it was almost like a switch clicked at that point. And at that point, I just sort of okay, I'm just going to walk away from Western medicine and start doing a deep dive on what's out there for holistic. And over the years, I healed myself. And then I was thinking, wow, there's so much information here that a lot of people don't know about. And that's what got me to do what I do now. Right. So everything I talk about, everything I share is something that I do myself too. That's why I call myself biohacker. If I'm not doing it, I'm not going to share it. But as to why I joined Life on Track Coaching, I've been doing this for 11 years now, and I really want to get this on a much grander scale. I know Erin's got big stadiums. She knows a lot of people, and she has a big influence to help a lot of people around the world. And that's really my mission, is to help as many as I can. But of course, being around people that can be together, helping as much people as they can too. So, that's really the reason why, I'm so excited to be part of Life on Track Coaching Agency there.
I'm so excited to have you. you're an extraordinary life coach. And if you want to go fast, go alone, right? If you want to go fast, go alone, and you can chase your tail in circles. And, but if you want to go far, go with a team. And I just found that in life in general. I always grew when I was part of a team. And I love you guys so much. And I just can't wait to see you just continue to grow and thrive and do what you love to do. So thank you for sharing, Andy. And I love those LifeWave patches also, by the way. And we can talk about that later on. I absolutely love those. And I'm blessed to be a part of your Chronically Healthy life, your series, and with the magazine and the show, the podcast, the TV show, and everything else. So it's a blessing. See how life is just like this wonderful, reciprocal kind of a thing. It's beautiful. So thank you. All right, Shalene, let me read your bio because you're amazing. Shalene Dirk coaches healthcare professionals balancing their healthy mission with personal wellness. As a physical therapist and cancer survivor, she uniquely understands both provider and patient perspectives. She helps practitioners overcome burnout, maintain compassion, and rediscover purpose through sustainable self-care and healthy boundaries. Her mission, creating healthcare environments that serve everyone, including providers. And Shalene's quote is, "Live the life that lights you up." Welcome, Shalene. Welcome to the Life on Track Coaching Agency. I can't hear you.
Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry. No, I'm so happy to be here. And thank you, Erin, so much for believing in me and starting this agency. For those of us like Andy, like you bring so much to the table for those of us that kind of wouldn't know how to get our message out. And I'm just for that. And everybody that's in the agency, I just got so much gratitude, which, and but when you asked us, why would we join this agency? Well, number one, because I think you're awesome. And number two, why would we, like for me, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. You've already figured out how to do all this. So why wouldn't I use that for you to help me spread the message I'm trying to spread? So, and it's been nothing but a great, everything we've learned up to now, and even having the opportunity to do this is awesome. So thank you.
Thank you. And you have an amazing story, and just improving 300% and just an incredible story. But you can talk about that if you want. I don't want you to share anything that you don't want to share, but you are extraordinary at defying odds.
Well, I think, and one of the things that led me to you was through, a connection with a connection with a connection of somebody that, might be able to help me just deal with my own issues of, life and whatever else, dealing with chemo and a diagnosis. And, I came to realize as a healthcare professional, we don't really, we always put the patients first. And I realize as a patient that we maybe think we're doing a really good job of that as healthcare people, but I just have seen, as I've been doing so much health and wellness and self-care practice myself as a patient to save my life.
Yes.
Like maybe if I would have done some of that when I was actively working and been a little bit more aware of taking the time for me, I would be better at my job. And I thought I did great at my job. And, I had lots of people that I helped, but I'm just like, wow, I think I could actually make a difference now, having been on both sides of this equation where, all the things that I've put into practice now to get me to the point where my cancer marker has gone down 300%. I think that's a great thing to celebrate. And a lot of it has been from doing all of these other wellness practices that, I'll be honest, I kind of didn't even know existed. So I just want to be able to coach people and help them with that.
I absolutely love this because most people don't know, what we know in this room, and we're on fire to just share it with the world, because they're not going to teach it in school. They're not going to teach it in the churches and the synagogues and places. They don't teach it anywhere because it's like The Secret. The movie The Secret came out, right? In 2000, I think it was 2006. And still, even though it rocked the world back then, still most people don't know about the power of manifestation with meditation and affirmations and having that crystal clear vision, and you did it. I did it with the cancer diagnosis when they kept telling me I was going to die. And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not, and I really had that vision and that belief, because when you emotionalize that vision, life gets to be good. It gets to be fun, You know, it really does. It's like being in the sandbox with the universe. And it's just fun because we're conscious creators. That's what we do. And you're doing it. You're doing it, Shalene. And same thing with you, Andy, and everybody in this room. So thank you, Shalene. Thank you for sharing that. It's a blessing to have you. It really is. And it's an honor to be able to coach all of you in how to coach and how to speak and put you on my stages, you know, because we're going to do the virtual events every quarter, right? February, May, August, and November. And I'm super excited about that. And then we'll have the retreat in 2026, the in-person retreat, hopefully in Boca. You know, Michelle, who's going to be on Friday, more of the coaches will be on Friday, and she lives in Boca. And we were talking about setting it up there possibly. So that's going to be exciting. Okay, Joshua, you're up. I'm going to read your bio.
All right.
Joshua Sardina is a mindset coach who specializes in self-image and sales, helping individuals and sales teams who feel frustrated, stuck, and unfulfilled realize their full potential so they can achieve their hopes, goals, and dreams by facilitating clarity while gaining traction and momentum in the right direction. This produces results and a sense of accomplishment so you no longer feel stuck, unfulfilled, and ultimately frustrated and overwhelmed with yourself and where you're at. Joshua's coaching takes you to new heights. So excited. Welcome, Joshua. Welcome to Life on Track Coaching Agency.
Well, thank you for having me here, Aaron. I really appreciate it. The gratitude is through the roof, as you know.
I know, but I'm excited that you're here and you're a significant part of this as well. So share with us what inspired you to become a coach and what inspired you to join the Life on Track Coaching Agency.
Well, you know, everybody has a backstory, so I'll try to make mine as short as possible. But, I heard the phrase once that the devil's in the details, so the good must be in getting to the point. So I'll do my best to get to the point, right? As you know, I had a successful transportation business in the transportation industry, and I was doing good. I was doing well. However, my health was suffering. My family life was subpar. You know, I was a confirmed diabetic type 2. I weighed over 300 pounds, and I had high blood pressure. I think when the family was together, it was well-known fact that the television did most of the talking when we were sitting there together. So our family life had become stagnant and just and that's because I was always, all my energy was going towards that business. That's all I had all the time. You know, I was focused on that. And sure enough, I woke up diabetic. And what happened was that I tuned into the moment, and I had become aware of the present moment, that this is not what I want. I don't want this for myself. I don't want this for my family. So I had to come to the decision, and that's what most people, they absolutely have to realize, that it comes down to decision. So I decided this is not what I want. This is not what I want for my family. And I did everything it took to actually reverse my diabetes. I reversed my diabetes. I got off my high blood pressure pills. Everything, all my medications went away, and I shed 90 pounds in the process. And somehow I ended up freeing myself of that business, you know, quote unquote, right? I lost the business somehow. So what happened there was that it solidified this false belief or limiting belief that I have, that you can't have your cake and eat it too. Can't have the best of both worlds. You can't have your family life and your and career. And unfortunately, a lot of people believe that. So one day I'm listening to music in my garage. This is what got me. I'm listening to music in my garage. I'm wondering, what am I going to do with my life? What's going to happen? And this guy comes on my YouTube channel and he's yelling. I mean, this guy's like going off, right? And I thought it was a commercial, and I remember feeling irritated because I'm like, I pay a subscription so I don't have to deal with commercials. And I went over to change or skip or do whatever I had to do to get back to the music. And it's not a commercial. It's this guy talking about personal development. His name was Bedros Keuilian. And as I went to change it, I sat down and I listened, and everything he was saying was just hitting my heart. He was talking exactly what I was dealing with. And the next video comes, an older gentleman by the name of Bob Proctor comes on. And now all the pieces to the puzzle that I'm dealing with are just falling into places. And the third video, I mean, this was an inspirational night that changed my life. It was 1, 2, 3. The third video was a man named Jim Rome.
I love him.
Me too. I actually had no idea who these 3 individuals were. Now, I'd seen the movie The Secret that you mentioned back in 2006. I saw that movie, and I know Bob Proctor was on it, but I had no idea who he was until that night. And I realized sitting there in my garage, I'm not the only one dealing with this.
Mm-hmm.
So I delved deep into this information. I became my first client. I changed. I mean, my whole life changed because I realized I had to become the best version of myself so I can help those who I used to be.
I love that. I love that. And you and I are going to get into the patents and all that other stuff on what we attracted to us. Because Josh was also my business partner, in a patent portfolio, the IP that we have. And it's extraordinary. And it's in the transportation realm, which is where your zone of genius is, going in to the dealerships or the motorcycle dealerships and all these different, like the transportation, because you grew up with the race cars, working in a race car industry, and then you had your trucking company, and now the patents as an early stage technology company in the transportation realm. You know what you're talking about, when it comes to all of this. So I'm super excited for you, and the dealerships will be blessed to have you as their mindset and sales coach. They will be. So I'm super excited.
What made me or helped me come to the decision to join you is you. Your authenticity that you bring to the table. You genuinely care about people, and like was mentioned before, you have a stage that we don't, so you can help us get to it. But it's that authenticity that just moves to action. Absolutely. So we're grateful for you.
Thank you, Joshua. And I keep saying it. I have the chills because I'm blessed to have you as part of my team. Every single one of you. It's an honor, to be able to coach you. And I love walking with you guys through just discovering all of it, and moving to that next level. And you're just going to keep up leveling. You can't not. When you learn this stuff and you learn what to do, you can't not up level. You're putting the work in, every single one of you. And it's so exciting. And Andrea is part of the coaching agency also, and she's going to be on Friday. And she says, look at these amazing coaches. And look at you too, Andrea. Look at you too. You're an amazing coach. Andrea, she's a massage therapist and mindset coach, and she has her own business with people that are playing pickleball, and then they have, they need adjustments, and stuff like that with massage therapy and coaching. And she's, that's her thing, people with the pickleball. And we'll get into that on Friday, but I love you so much. I love all of you. Thank you for sharing that, Joshua. And Lisa, I can't wait to talk about this also. Let me just go to the banners. All right. Now, Lisa, let me read your bio so I don't leave anything out, because you are extraordinary, my friend. Lisa Manzo is a life coach, manifestation coach who empowers people to manifest their dreams by healing emotional trauma. As a 7-time Amazon bestselling author, speaker, mindset coach, and educator, Lisa brings a wealth of experience both personally and professional. Having overcome her own challenges with depression and addiction, she now lives life on her terms and inspires others to do the same. People seeking transformation turn to Lisa for her guidance in overcoming limiting beliefs, gaining confidence, and stepping into their best selves. Known for her natural and intuitive understanding of her clients, Lisa leads them with empathy and insight, guiding them to shift their mindset and create lasting changes in their lives. Welcome, Lisa. Welcome to the Life on Track Coaching Agency.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's so great to be here, and it's so great to be with you and the other people in the community that I'm getting to know. And what started me on this journey was about 7 years ago. I was so miserable and unhappy, and I was like, well, there's got to be more to life than this. I didn't know what it was, but on that day I took a picture, and I have that picture. I love that picture because I can look back at it and see how far I've come. Yeah. And I wanted to understand how to deal with my emotions and why I was feeling how I was feeling, and what that meant for me. And then as I was able to understand my emotions and my feelings, I'm like, oh, there must be other people out there like this that feel the same way I do. And I said, you know what? I feel so much better now. I understand how my mind works and how it works and how to change it and shift it. I want to do that for other people. So that was the life-changing moment for me when I got to the other side of my misery and became joyous and happy. I wanted to share it with others. And the reason I joined your coaching program is I've joined so many coaches over the years, and I know that you're genuine and you're authentic and you're real. And whenever I call you or reach out to you, I don't have to wait 3 days for an answer. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Saturday. I'm not working. I'll get it because I've had that. Well, I only work Monday to Friday, and you can't talk to me now on the weekend. And you're always responsive. You're always helpful. Hey, and giving me great guidance because you've been there before me, and I appreciate you.
I love you so much. And when I met Lisa, everybody, we had a discovery call. We hadn't met in person. I tell this story all the time, Lisa. We hadn't met in person. It's just a discovery call, and we connected, and I knew that you really wanted to grow your coaching, and I knew you could, and you're a nurse by trade, and you just have a heart of gold, and I don't randomly just say, oh yeah, everybody join the agency. Like, you have to apply and basically qualify, to be able to do it. And I'm pretty discerning when it comes to, I knew you would be a good coach, not a good coach. I knew you'd be a great coach. So anyway, we had the conversation. You couldn't do it right then. I'm doing a book signing because I do book signings across the nation, right, with the best-selling books. And I'm in, where was I? Vegas. I was in Scottsdale. I was in Scottsdale, and Lisa flew from Vegas to Scottsdale just to meet me. I walked in, and there she is. And I was like, oh my God, I get to give you a hug. Oh my God, this is amazing. And we just have been in touch ever since. And yes, I do make myself available because, first of all, I'm here to help you. You know what I'm saying? I don't subscribe to like the do-it-yourself thing and to become a coach and just, you got to listen to all just recordings and figure it out on your own. I like holding people's hands, to get across the finish line. I literally, like I said it before, I love walking with you guys to cross the finish line. So, instead of doing it yourself, I really love holding your hands and just giving you everything that I've got, my assets, like just everything that I've created, because why should you invent the wheel? Take mine and make it your own. I spent over 30 years. I've been coaching over 30 years, and with a lot of trial and error and a lot of failure, but we fail forward. That's what we do. We don't quit. You just fail forward. And so I want to see you guys succeed quickly, faster than I did, by just learning from my mistakes and just, grabbing the baton and going. And I just, like I said, I want to share everything with you. So including the stages and everything else. It's just, you're light workers. That's what we are, and we want to spread the love and the light. So again, for anybody that's listening, if you want to join the agency, and you've always wanted to be a coach, you want to make a difference in people's lives, you're heart-centered and you want to make impact in a beautiful way, reach out to me, go to my website, erinlay.com, and the contact information, or email me at info@erinlay.com and just put agency in the subject line, and we'll have a conversation, we'll see if you qualify, but let's definitely have that conversation. All right. So now we're going to get into a couple of questions and discussions so that we can share, our insights and the wisdom regarding some of my favorite stuff. And we'll start with vision, self-love, and gratitude. And Joshua, you said earlier about decision being so important. But over 30 years, I'm all about vision and decision. Vision and decision, which really is discipline. You got to have discipline. Vision and decision. Let's start the conversation. We'll start with you, Joshua, with vision, self-love, and gratitude, and what that means to you.
Well, what I've come to understand is that vision is absolutely crucial. Imagine you go to a mall, right? And you're looking for a store. You're fresh in that place. You go to the store, and you go to the mall and you want to find a certain store. You're going to go to the directory. so you can find out where that store is. Now, usually it has the store or store number, and then it has this little red dot says you're here. So you have a point of reference, and then you have the destination that you want to achieve. Unfortunately, most people don't have a vision, so they go to this directory of life and it's blank, and they spend most of their lives, most of the years, wandering mundane day in, day out with absolutely no direction. So vision is crucial. And they say King Solomon in the ancient days, I mean, this goes back to a long time. King Solomon says that without a vision, people perish.
Right.
How
Those
true that is.
shall perish. Yeah.
How true that is, that their hopes, their goals, their dreams, their aspirations, it's just, it fades into oblivion because they have no clear vision. So that's an absolute must.
Yes. And then with self-love, so now once you create that crystal clear vision, and again, you know, the universe, the world will bing bong you all over the place if you don't have a vision. And you'll be drifting, you'll be in hypnotic rhythm, and you just don't understand why things are not happening for you. Well, everything's always happening for you, but you're supposed to learn a lesson, you know, when the negative things are happening. But if you don't have a vision,
So we're told, right?
Right, exactly, bouncing all over the place. You know, you want to write down a crystal clear vision, pen to paper. There's a whole psychology, you guys, pen to paper, on writing down exactly what you want and visualizing that, bringing it alive with your senses. The law of assumption. This agency is huge. I am huge in the law of assumption. Neville Goddard. You know, I've been studying that since 1991 from a hospital bed that I credit for living. Like I said before, every time they said I die. But with that vision, you do have to have self-love. You know, you have to love thyself, you know, and know that I am. David Corbin and I were talking about that the other day, and Chris Widener. Know thyself and, you know that I am. Love thyself and know that I am. So when you love yourself, that's not conceit. That's not, you know, that's not like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Like, you have to love yourself in order to make that vision a reality, in order to have healthy relationships with everybody else. And we have an I Love Me coach also that's going to come on Friday, Michelle, who I absolutely love, Michelle Myers. And she's all about I love me so that I can love you fully. You know, Jim Rohn actually said, I'll take care of me so I can take care of you. And I want you to take care of you so you can take care of me. Okay, so let's get into, so that's the self-love, and you got to be grateful.
Well, absolutely. So self-love, if we paid attention to what we're saying to ourselves, and we would actually say that to some of our friends, it would be a short period of time before we're loners or friendless, right? So because we can be pretty critical of ourselves. Oh, you know, I'm so stupid. Or I've done this. I've done, you know, it's like, hey, relax, bring that down a notch. Let's see where you're, you know, we talked about King Solomon, and there's another famous guy in the Bible. His name's Jesus, right? And he says that if you believe that you would say, you would do, you would have, and people say, well, he's telling you to believe in God, but actually think about what he's saying here. You need to know your value. You need to know your worth, and you need to believe in you. Now, some people would say, oh no, Josh, that's not the case, but that's fine, right? I'm not saying not to have a healthy, you know, you have to have a healthy love of yourself. Says don't think more of yourself than what is necessary. Well, that indicates that it's necessary to think something of yourself.
Yes.
So you have to have that healthy self-view, self-awareness, and understanding. And as far as gratitude, I love gratitude. You know, a lot of people get this one a little mixed up. Gratitude has to be unconditional, and most people are having conditional gratitude. They're saying, oh, I'm so grateful because this happened. I'm so grateful for, or I'm so grateful if this happened. Oh, I would be so grateful if this happened. Now, I'm in San Diego, which means that unconditionally, I'm here. I'm in San Diego. So if I go somewhere and someone says, where'd you come from? I said, oh, I came from San Diego, which means I was in San Diego. So you have to come from gratitude. You have to, and that means you have to be in gratitude unconditionally. And the reason why that's so important is that if you compared yourself to an airplane, your attitude will dictate your altitude, right? So if you have a low attitude, then you're going to go through a lot of turbulence in your life. If you raise your attitude, then you're going to be up in the upper stratosphere, is smooth sailing, nice and smooth flight, because your attitude dictates your altitude. Now, what in control of your attitude is your gratitude. If you have a low level of gratitude, you know, then you're not going to have you're not going to have a high attitude.
You got to have the attitude of gratitude. Thank you for sharing that. And I just love this conversation. So I want to go around the room for everybody to share in this, because I really believe this is the foundation for everything wonderful to create. You know, this is where you create and manifest everything wonderful. When you have that vision, you love thyself, and you're in that state with gratitude. So Lisa, so what is your take on vision, self-love, and gratitude?
Okay, I'm going to
tie them all together.
I'm going to start with, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm going to start with self-love, because up until 7 years ago, I didn't even know what that was. Okay. And I was like, self-love, what is that? And I had to have somebody explain it to me. So somebody was nice enough to explain it to me. And I'm like, oh, I was never taught that. And then I looked at that. And so slowly over the years, as coaching, I was able to teach myself self-love. And when I'm at my job and somebody says, oh, I'm so dumb, I said, no, we don't speak about ourselves that way. You made a mistake. Please rephrase that. And they hear me all the time. And when they say that stuff in front of me, they even look at me and they go, oh, I can't say that in front of you. I'm like, no, you can't.
That's right.
It's kind of funny, but it's true. And I don't allow them to speak about themselves like that, because your brain is always listening.
Right.
Okay. And so then after I got the self-love, then we got onto the gratitude. And I had realized that was never taught to me either. Okay. So I'm like, okay, I have a lot of really good things to be blessed for. Even at my worst time, I was still blessed.
There you
I
go.
was very, very blessed. At my worst, when I was feeling my worst and in my deep depression, I was still very blessed. And I never understood gratitude. And then after I got understood the self-love, I went to the gratitude part, and I have gratitude now for everything. And when something happens that doesn't go my way, I'm like, ooh, what's coming next? Because I know this is in my best interest. And it gets me excited now, which is such a great switch. And so having the self-love and then learning the gratitude was able, because I always knew about vision. I never had any, and I needed to get the self-love and the gratitude in order to be able to have the vision. So now I have the vision. So that's how it worked for me.
I love that. I love that. And Lisa, like, you specialize in trauma, you know, and there's so many people that have childhood trauma, and then they just live it out for a lifetime, and they don't know it because it's buried in the subconscious mind, or they took it on as that's their norm. Like that's what's supposed to happen. And they don't know anything else. And you go in as a coach and you break those stories down, and you help them get rid of it, and you help them replace those stories with, I am worthy. I do have value, you know, and you get rid of like what's been holding them back for a lifetime. And it's just a blessing, you know, and I love what everybody in this room, I love all of what you're doing. It's just, you know, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. So thank you for sharing that, Lisa. And then we'll go to Andy and then Shalene. So Andy, vision, self-love, and gratitude.
Vision is an interesting one. Like Joshua said, and even Lisa said, I think a lot of people aren't taught vision in school, right? You know, you haven't really talked about goal setting, but you got certain things that you want. Like, I want to be rich, I want to have a nice house, I want to have a nice car, but there's no vision to get you there. So I think when you lose vision, like, I was an entrepreneur early on because of my damage to my back and everything, that I wanted to get ahead. And all my things, I just wanted to make a lot of money. I didn't know how to get there. There was no vision to get there. So you just work harder, right?
Right.
And then you hit a post, you achieve it. And because you have no vision, you lose it all. Yeah. And you have to start over again. And it wasn't until I was 43, and I was introduced to Jim Rohn at 43. He's long gone already. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, goal planning is visioning. And so that's where it sort of got started for me. And then it's like, self-love is so important, because I was blaming everyone else for my condition. And I was expecting everyone to take care of me too. Like, there was just this like, it was everyone's fault except mine. So until I finally figured out, well, my condition is where I make my own decisions. And, I was seeing how I was affecting everyone around me and I want to help them. But like you said, you can't help someone until you help yourself. So in my
Right.
mind, it's like, unless you love yourself, you figure out how to take care of what you is, whatever small changes it may be, you can't help others. Right. So they do really go hand in hand. And when it comes to gratitude, I have to give everything gratitude for my wife, my girlfriend. Is like we went through so many ups and downs with finances, with my health over 20 years. And she was there from day one. Like she was there for my car accident. And it's like anyone else would have just left. Anyone smarter would have left. Right. But at the same time, during the time, I wasn't grateful for it. Right. I just assumed she owed me that because I got hurt going to see her. And it was crazy. But once you start seeing everything in gratitude, at least I sort of like what you said, when bad things happen, it's like, well, what good thing's going to come out of that? And it just changes your whole view of things. Like nothing ever bad happens. When something bad happens, it's opening a door for something better to happen. And when you
I agree.
flip that switch, life looks so much more wonderful. Like I used to be so negative. And it was funny because I was looking through all my pictures before 43, and I would have this mean look in the pictures. And during the time, I thought I was looking cool, right? Because you got this cool look, right? The font,
Right.
you're not smiling. And I was not happy. I had no gratitude. And now it's like every picture from 43 on, I'm smiling my face off, right? And people say, why are you so happy? I was like, I don't know why I'm happy. I'm just happy to be happy, right? So gratitude goes so far for the people that is around you. And, that's one thing I learned is you have to sort of let some of the people go that take away your gratitude. That's all I have
Oh,
to say.
totally. You don't want to be around people that dim your light. And as a longevity coach, and you're brilliant at what you do, and when you get into gratitude and you stop blaming others, because blaming others, which everybody in the room knows, that's just a victim mentality,
Mhm.
And when you have a victim mentality, it's just disempowering. There's nothing empowering about it. So when you stop pointing the finger at everybody else and you take responsibility for everything that's going on, and then you step into gratitude, I mean, like you age backwards because your body feels so good, and then your skin feels good, and like literally you will age backwards. I shared this when I was going through the divorce, and I was, oh my God, I'm fighting for everything in court and all this other nonsense. I was aging rapidly, and then when I just stopped that, because I was losing sleep, I wasn't eating right and all this other nonsense. And then when I stopped looking at the 3D and the problems that were going on, and I just said, all right, you got to be the creator of your own life, vision and decision, go do your vision and decision thing. And I did, and I just stayed focused on my vision, my goals, what I wanted to achieve. I was having fun. And then the people, place, and things kept coming to me that I needed to just grow to the next level. And I kept growing, but it was all because of gratitude. Anytime, no matter what it was, when I found that I went from a place of, you throw them back on the heels and you're like, oh my God, to get out of it, it was always gratitude. Like stay focused on it or find something. And you have to say it over and over and over again until your body feels it, because the body's the instrument of the mind. You're not going to manifest anything if you just talk. You got to feel it, right? Which all of you know. So thank you for sharing that, Andy. Thank you. And Shalene, your take on vision, self-love, and gratitude?
Yeah. So, I mean, just to build on everything that everyone else has said, I think without vision, like Josh had said, that was a really good analogy actually about, the mall. But it's like anything. I mean, if you get up in the morning and you didn't have a vision of even having to get up and go to work, even if, you say, oh, my life sucks so bad or whatever, and I'm just not happy. Okay, well, you had a vision to actually set your alarm to get out of bed. So even if you didn't think that was a vision, if we try to just even think of like baby steps instead of, oh, I want to make $1 million and I'm going to have this fancy house and I've manifested all that. Okay, that's great. But what are those little steps to get to? And I think like for me, it was, I was always like so big. And then I never really had a clear focus on those little steps. So for me, vision is kind of all encompassing. Okay, what's the big game I want to play in? Like, where's the big stadium I want to be? Okay, then if I kind of if you peel back each of those layers to figure out, what do I need to do today? Like you
Right.
think, who do I have to be? What do I have to do to have what I want to have? And that's helped me create vision. And, especially in kind of when stuff's not going great in your life. Okay, what is it that I'm working towards? And what's one little thing I could do today that's going to get me to move forward? And just like you said, failing forward. Believe you me, I've failed at so many things in my life. Sometimes I think there's more things I've failed at than I've succeeded. But every success has come on the back of a failure.
The
So
most successful people fail more than they succeeded. It's just the successes trumps, the failures, but you're absolutely right. Go ahead.
And so, vision is realizing where you want to be and giving yourself like enough self-love and gratitude for being on that journey that you are going to fail forward. Like be okay with that. So self-love for me and a lot of the things that I'm coaching on are experiences I've had, and to just be able to share, just like you're sharing the coaching agency with us, helping us with all these things that we don't have to figure out. Self-love, simple things like letting yourself fail. It's okay to fail because it's a fail forward. And, what are some of the things that you do for yourself that are self-love? And it's not guilty to spend time on yourself. Your vision of you as a person, whether you're a wife, whether you're a mother, whether you're an employee, whether you're at a coaching agency, you still have to take care of you because you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Right.
It's like the oxygen mask coming down in the airplane. They put your oxygen mask on first before you put on somebody else's. So in order to get to your vision, you have to give yourself the time to practice some self-love, self-care, and if sometimes self-love is pulling the covers up over your head for 15 minutes because you just don't want to deal with anything,
Right.
give yourself permission to do that, because I think we can all agree in this room, hands up,
Yes.
done that on an occasion when you're just like, I just don't know. And you literally just pull the covers up over your head. And that's okay. Doesn't mean you failed. It means you're listening. And then we get to gratitude. You need to feel gratitude. You need to feel even your vision. You need to feel, it needs to light you up. If you're trying to chase a vision that was your dad's or your ex-husband's or your friends, it doesn't light you up. That's why my thing is live the life that lights you up. I'm now doing, like, since I've had this cancer diagnosis, which literally rocked my world, that was not in my vision. But
Right.
what it's brought to me, it's happened for me. It brought me all of you beautiful people. It's taught me the value, and I'm going to get emotional. It's taught me the value of self-love. And I wish I would have taken a little bit more time along this path to take out the time to do self-love, because the vision I had maybe wasn't truly what I wanted to do. And now I'm feeling that. I've started 2 businesses since I've had a cancer diagnosis. Actually 3. This would be the 3rd. Because my vision now isn't about money.
Right.
It's about doing what lights me up.
And that's the key to life. That's the key to life.
And when you're grateful, truly practicing gratitude, and yes, writing it down, people. Every morning I write down 3 things I'm grateful for, and it can just be having a good sleep, getting up and putting my feet on the floor without back pain. That I'm grateful for that. It doesn't have to be, I'm grateful that I've solved world peace. Like, okay, if you can do that, that's awesome. But I'm grateful from a nice little Christmas mug I get to drink my tea out of.
Right.
Because I really am happy when I see that. So that's one thing you've really taught me, Erin, and I'm sure we could all say, vision, self-love, and gratitude all has come from us. It's come from our heart and our feeling. And you've taught me that. Even this, thinking I can be a coach. It's like, really? You think I'd be a good coach? Like, I think it's really good to say. Okay, good. You believe in me. I feel I can do it. And now that's given us the vision.
Absolutely. And amazing. And just think about it. When you apply the vision, self-love, and gratitude to the healthcare providers, whether it's doctors, nurses, Lisa, you're a nurse, the physical therapist, speech pathologist, occupational therapist, chiropractors, any of them, when they realize that they can deep breathe also and love and do the self-love, that they need to do, as opposed to constantly being on just adrenaline and cortisol flying and, everything's so extreme. when they can, literally take the time for themselves to create their vision for their life. Self-love is huge, and a lot of times when people are just like stressing out and they have a job that's stressful, and it is stressful, when you're talking about life and death and stuff like that with regards to the healthcare providers, when they can just stop and get into gratitude in the present moment. It doesn't have to be in the past, what happened that didn't work, or in the future with what might happen. Like, just get present. Life is in the present moment. And when we're intentional about doing this, we have to be intentional about having a vision and being in self-love and being in gratitude. And there's times where it's very difficult. There's times where I knew I was out of flow, and I knew I needed to get into gratitude to stop that momentum. And I remember just saying, I'm so happy and so grateful, for my parents that are alive. I'm so happy and grateful for my children and they're healthy. I'm so happy for my home and my friends and my clients and all this different thing. But I kept saying it. I was in the car driving. Thank God it's the year 2024, because if it was the 80s, they'd think you're crazy. But I'm talking out loud, and I'm just saying it over and over and over and over and over again until my body felt it, right? And then I just started feeling that peace come over my spirit, and I got out of that anger and resentment, that I was in momentarily. And I knew I didn't want to be there because it's so low vibe and nothing good. You'll just attract to you more things that'll keep you stuck there. So I knew I had to get into gratitude. And as soon as I did, I got home, I got phone calls from people that were just amazing, and just all these amazing instant return from the universe of, going into gratitude. So, and that is one of the laws. It's a spiritual universal law, is the law of gratitude. And this agency is based on Neville Goddard's the law. Well, he's a big proponent, a big teacher of it. The law of assumption. I am too, because of Neville, and it's just, you assume. In other words, when you have a vision, you assume as if it's happening right now. You bring that vision alive, you close your eyes. The imagination is everything. It's a breeding ground for everything you want to create. So never stifle a child with their imagination. Like, it's just in your imagination. The imagination is so powerful, because that's what we create from. But when you can do that and you bring that vision alive with your senses, and you're there and you're experiencing it, like your goal, your main thing, that big vision, and you're having the feeling as if it's happening right now, that's time bending. You bend time, you bring the future into the present, quantum. So you just create things a lot faster. But this is all stuff that, people will learn when they reach out to us, and they want to reach out to you guys. And another point I want to talk about, because this is different, self-image, right? Because self-image determines results. And we can never outperform. Bob Proctor said this all the time. We can never outperform our self-image. If our self-image is stuck at 50,000, we're not going to make more than 50,000 if we don't believe that we can. So we have to expand our self-image. Otherwise, it's like the ocean trying to get into a wine bottle. It can't happen. So you got to really do the personal development work to expand that self-image, which will help big time professionally, not just with your family and your relationships and stuff like that, but also professionally, like Joshua with the sales team, like when you go in and you do workshops and stuff like that with sales teams in the dealerships and stuff, like you help them expand their self-image so that more can come to them. And it's not just about the money. Yes, the money will come, but it's the impact. Like for instance, the dealerships, the salespeople at the dealerships, when they wake up and they just really want to make somebody's day, that they're excited to really have them get a car that they've always wanted, and they're so happy, just the experience for being in service of other people, because that's where happiness is derived, when we're in service of other people, the money comes. So if you're focused on the money, know your goal, know your worth. This is all about having a millionaire mindset and 7-figure self-image. All of our programs, like when we do the 3-day events, quarterly in 2025, which again, we're going to be launching that in February. So I'm having I call my Thomas. He's my marketing and my tech guy. He's setting up the landing page, for people to sign up for it. And the three-day events to literally help you develop that millionaire mindset and that 7-figure self-image. And if you don't have that, and that's just the beginning, that's a foundation. If you don't have that, you're thinking too small. Why not you? Everybody's born with an abundant lane. Everything you need is in your lane. When you're utilizing your God-given gifts and your purpose, why you're here doing what you're doing, because the two most important days in someone's life is the day you were born and the day you found out why, right? So when you utilize it, that's your purpose. And just trust that, everything you need, somebody else can't take it away from you. It's in your lane. You can't take it away from somebody else. And we never want to compete with somebody else. Competition is so low vibe. I'm not talking about sports, but I'm talking about like when people want to hold other people back. They want to step on top of them to build themselves up. And because when you compete, you go sideways and you spin out. But when you're creating, when you're constantly creating and you're staying in your lane, utilizing your gifts and you're on purpose and you're intentional every day and you're in gratitude and you know what you want to accomplish. Oh my God, life is so good. It's so good. And I can't wait till these events start when we're doing the 3-day events, because it's 3 days on how to develop that millionaire mindset and that 7-figure self-image. And again, don't think that that's too big. It's doable for anybody and everybody on this planet. And you want to stop thinking small. All right, so let's hopscotch around the room for the self-image determining results. So Shalene, we'll start with you with self-image determining results.
Well, I think it comes back down to, like your vision. So if you want to be a CEO of a big company, let's just say, if you stay in your pajamas all day and don't brush your teeth and don't brush your hair, you're not really in that mindset of what a CEO of a big company would be. So think of like you're the CEO of your own life. So if you want your life to be where you're in your pajamas all day, which don't get me wrong, there's some days I just want to sit in my pajamas all day, no judgment at all. But just even something as simple as that, getting up in the morning, even if you're working from home, get dressed, put on some makeup if you're a woman, if you're a man, or like if you're whatever, do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel good, like you would be going out of your house. And it just makes you feel a little bit more professional for whatever it is that you're going to do. That's part of self-image. If I say in the morning, I love myself, I've been getting some of my clients to just say that. Look in the mirror and say, I love you. And it's astounding how hard that is. But the more you do it, the more you feel it, the higher vibration you start to vibrate at, the more grateful you are, because gratefulness raises up your vibration. Yeah. And lo and behold, all of these things start happening for you. People are falling into your lap that you didn't know existed. And you all of a sudden things are just happening the way you envisioned. So you have to be the person that you want to be physically to then also get to it mentally. That's part of the saying, I am, and feeling it. It's a lot easier for me to feel happy and love myself when I actually am out of my pajamas and have my teeth brushed and my hair brushed. Just like, so for me, self-love and self-image are kind of the same thing. Yes, I can rock a pair of really good Christmas pajamas now. Y'all know that. But, I wouldn't be very professional if I came on here in my Christmas pajamas. But no. I may have my bottoms on. None of you know. I'll have it on the top, but I may have it on the bottom.
I love you. I love you. All right. So, and also the difference between self-image and self-confidence is self-image is how we see ourselves, right? Self-image, how we see ourselves, how we picture ourselves in our mind's eye. Self-confidence is how we feel about ourselves. And our self-image will always, 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 always determine our self-confidence, because how you see yourself will determine how you're feeling. It's almost like the law of vibration and the law of attraction. The law of vibration, everything vibrates, right? And we give off a certain frequency. So then based on that vibration and the frequency we're giving off, then we will attract to us the people, place, and things that are at that same frequency, because like attracts like, right? And we don't attract, like what you're saying also, we don't attract what we want, we attract who we are. Everybody listening, write that down. We do not attract what we want, we attract who we are. So if you want something and you're not living it, like Shalene is saying, you have to become that in order to attract that to you. So that's brilliant, Shalene. And that's also the difference between self-image and self-confidence. So self-image is like the law of vibration, right? And then self-confidence is like the law of attraction. Self-image will determine the self-confidence. So it's how we see ourselves and how we feel about ourselves. So thank you for sharing that. And Andy, did I ask you about this already?
About self-image? No.
No. Okay, Shalene, you went first. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess self-image, if I'm looking at a longevity aspect, is no one ever looks that far ahead what they see themselves to be 10, 20, 30, maybe in 50 years from now, right? As a longevity expert, I honestly think we can all live to 150. But when I bring that up to people, they envision someone like dying in bed or being pushed around in a wheelchair. And I say, no, I envision myself maybe a little bit more grayer hair, more receding hairline, whatever, but I'm still doing everything that I can do and enjoying and spending time with loved ones, because if they're doing what I'm doing, we're all living up to that point, right? And what you said was sort of important, because for your self-image, how you portray yourself, you're going to start attracting people that are your like too, right? So it's going to be much easier to live what you're vibrating at when you're around other people, like this group. I can literally feel the vibrations coming off the screen. It's sort of crazy. And a lot of people just don't think about that. They think that's woo-woo, but there's a lot of woo-woo in science and a lot of science in woo-woo,
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's really where I see self-image. Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I said that's where I really see self-image,
And it's brilliant. And a friend of mine, Mark Fisher Hansen, who you guys are going to meet on December 6th, he's going to be joining our group to talk about sales and branding. For everybody listening, if you join the group on the first, it's every Friday at 1:00 Eastern. I have the meetings, and for the first 3 Fridays of every month. And the first Friday, I do business growth, and I'll bring in friends of mine that are big in the personal development and professional development realm. So December 6th, we're having Mark Fisher Hansen come in, and I'm not allowing anybody else to come into the group. Like, I'll accept people. For everybody listening, if you did want to join before December 6th, because then I'm closing this group down, to whoever we want, because we have 10 people right now. And because I like hand holding and I like making sure you get individual attention, I want to keep the group to no more than like 15, max 20. So if you do decide to join us, just make sure you reach out to me before December 6th. Okay, because then, like I said, Mark Fisher Hansen's going to come on for the training on branding and sales and all that kind of fun stuff. And Mark is the one who co-authored the whole Chicken Soup for the Soul series with Jack Canfield, and he wrote the book Ask, the bridge from your dreams to your destiny, with his beautiful wife Crystal. I love those two. So that'll be fun, and that's at 1:00 Eastern. So thank you for sharing that, Andy. And Lisa. Self-image, determining results.
So it's absolutely correct that your self-image determines your results, because I look backwards, because hindsight's 2020, which is great, and I can see where my self-worth was, and which is tied directly to my self-image, right? And the results that I was getting. And as I've grown and changed and evolved, I can see that my results are changing. I'm here with all of you today because my results have changed. They're not changing, they have changed. I've gotten there, and I have the vision. I know where I'm going. I know who I'm going with. And one of the challenges for me was learning that it's okay to leave people behind, because they'll catch up if they want to. And because as a child, my self-image was tied to, well, aren't you thinking about me, and aren't you doing this, and aren't you doing that? But I need to know the self-love and think about me, because then I can help everybody else. So self-image is really important for your results, because without a great self-image, you're not going to get great results. So get a great image and get great results.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. And Joshua, self-image determines results.
Well, like you said, you can't outperform your self-image, right? And it's like a person trying to get in shape. They can't outperform a bad diet. And unfortunately, some people believe they can, and it's just not true. You know, you get this guy that might have the great muscles, but inside, you know, he's just not doing that well. You will never be able to outperform a bad self-image, just like you won't be able to outperform a bad diet. Self-image is so crucial, and where we're going, you can liken it to a thermostat, right? It holds the room at a certain degree, starts getting hot, AC turns on, puts it right back to where it needs to be. If it starts getting too cold, AC, the heater turns on, brings it back up to where it needs to be. I personally know somebody who made within a couple of weeks an annual sales, an annual wage with a few sales, and this person did not sell for a very long time because the self-image picked up on it, brought him back down to where he needs to be, where he saw himself. And
Right.
so because we think in this images and the confidence, we think in images. So if we have this self-image come into our conscious mind and we have a perception of that self-image, it puts us in a vibration of this feeling of called confidence, and we just won't move, or we will move according to that feeling, and that feeling is dictated by that image. So it's like a person in sales, if they feel like they just don't know, the client's going to pick up on that.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why is it's just like the guy that wants to go for that girl, the girl wants to go for that guy, or you know, whatever. They see this guy and they're like, man, he's just so out of my league. Well,
Right.
that's not true. That's not true at all. That's true to you. That's your belief, right? And being that your belief is your truth, it will make your reality. So self-image is 100% a must. To going back to that analogy of the map and the directory, you need to understand who and where you are before you decide to go anywhere. You really need to understand that. Your
Yes.
worth, your self-image, your value, where you're at will always help you understand where you need to go. That's the starting point right there.
I love it. I love it. And again, all of our events are going to be how to develop a millionaire mindset and 7-figure self-image. Like, we will teach people, to everybody that's going to tune in for the 3-day events, how to do that, how to build that out, you know, and then just start to live. I remember I tell this story a lot, when I was at Sharon Lecter's house and we went over my business model a few years ago. And long story short, after 4 hours with Sharon and I, and Angela, who's Sharon's partner also, who I absolutely love. And they said, Erin, you have a multi-million-dollar coaching model. Because I have the children's book, the character building children's books, and the books for adults, and the private coaching, the course, the events, like everything. I had everything. And my reaction was, oh my God, Sharon, like, I'm a single mom. I can't even imagine the work that's got to go into that. You know, I'm a single mom. You know, this is coming out of my mouth, you guys. And I said, that's for the men in my world, because I grew up in a wealthy area and it was the men that were making the millions, well, there was probably a couple of women, but the majority of the men, I didn't know any of the women that were, I knew a lot of the men. So I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my mouth. Could not believe it. So what I did was I went home. I had to grow. I had to stretch my self-image. And I listened to, within the first 17 seconds of waking up, when your brain's in theta, it's like a hypnotic kind of a state, you know, for your mind. And I listened to millionaire mindset meditations, billionaire mindset meditations. And Joshua, that's when you called me up just a couple months later. And you were like, Erin, you know, like, I have this idea. And Karina, his wife, his beautiful wife, Karina, and I trust only you to share this with. And he shared it with me, and I sent my friends on their way. They were waiting for me outside. And long story short, it's an 8-figure technology company, you know, patent portfolio that we have. It's an early stage technology company in the transportation realm. So by doing it, I bypassed 7 figures, and the company's at 8 figures, you know, and we're growing out the portfolio. We have the biggest patent we already are approved for. We have it in hand. And we have right now 4 other patents pending. And we're going to add 3 more to the portfolio and then go international with the patents there. So we're building it out from 8 figures. That would not have come to me if I had the mindset of, nope, that's for the men in my world. Nope, I'm a single mom. That's got to be a lot of work that goes into that. You know, I had to break that paradigm down. I had to break that self-image. I did not break it. I had to increase my self-image to say, yes, that can come to me. You know, that kind of, instead of like the ocean going into a wine bottle, now I'm the ocean. You know, I stretched it to where I'm the ocean coming to me and through me, you know, energetically. And it did. And it's just like, life is just so fun. So fun. Okay. Did I leave anybody out? I covered everybody, right? Regarding the self-image. Okay. Layla. Hey, Layla. Layla is one of our coaches also. She's a grievance coach. And Layla has an amazing story. And with everything that happened during the pandemic and so many lives that were lost, Layla is, you know, in the agency with us, and she is a grievance coach, and she's beautiful and so gifted with how she helps people transform their grief and start living a happy life, you know? So thank you for that, Layla. I love her. And I love that picture too. And my friend Maris says, fantastic to Ken and Maris. Hey, you guys. I love you guys. Okay. So free gifts, because we're at 1 o'clock already and I want to respect your time. Let's talk about the free gift, and we'll just go around from the top again. Andy, your free gift?
Yeah, so I guess my free gift, I recently wrote a short longevity book. Oh, I'm not sure if you can see it here. It's called Longevity is a New L Word. There it is. And for everyone that reaches out to me for free, 30-minute consult, I'll give them a free PDF of the book.
Fabulous. And a 30-minute call with you.
Of course.
Yes, yes. So I love that. Thank you so much. And how can they reach out to you? Your email or your?
Yeah, they can reach me at Andy@chronicallyhealthylife.com.
Andy@chronicallyhealthylife.com. Everybody write that down. Andy@chronicallyhealthylife.com. Put agency in the subject line, so Andy will know that you came from here, from the Life on Track Coaching Agency. Only I'll just keep it short. Nice agency, nice and easy. Thank you so much for that. Very generous, Andy. Thank you. And Shalene?
Yeah, like Andy, you can reach me by email. My email is sdirk, DIRK, @shaw, SHAW.ca. Again, put just in the title, agency. And my free gift is also a 30-minute consult, as well as I've created a motivation, kind of like a cheat sheet for self-love, self-image, gratitude, just pointers and just some easy things that have worked for me that you can just laminate and put up on your fridge.
Perfect. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Say your email again. One more time.
So Sam, S as in Sam, DIRK, @shaw, SHAW.ca.
Thank you. And I'm going to put all this in the post also, so in the comments, so people can see it there as well. And Joshua, your free gift?
Yeah, 30 minutes as well. We'll probably sometimes go a little longer, but I will hear you out for those who want to reach out to me and see where you're at, see where you want to go, and devise a plan of how to do that, how to get there. And I also email, you can reach me by email, and then that way I have your email, and I'll be able to send you the 12, and I wrote this 12 ingredients for the recipe of success. I'll be able to send that to you on a PDF.
Perfect. And your email?
My email is unstoppable.rfw@gmail.com. So unstoppable with 2 P's .rfw@gmail.com. Or they could also go to the website, sardinacoachingco.cardd.ca.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll put that in the comments also. And Lisa?
Okay, so my gift is a 30-minute free consultation, and I wrote a chapter on having faith, surrendering, and accepting what life brings your way, and I'm sharing that when you email me with agency in the comments. And my email address is lisamanzo.lm@gmail.com. Again, lisamanzo.lm as in Lisa Manzo @gmail.com.
I love it. I love it. And again, I'll add that all of your emails to the post and to the comments So that's fantastic. And if anybody's interested in joining the agency, you can reach out to me at erinlay.com/contact and just let me know that you're interested. We'll have a conversation, and you can apply to join. And I look forward to that conversation. So, all right, you guys, any closing comments? And let's go around the room. Just a quick round robin of last thoughts. Andy?
Last thought, I think anyone that is interested in getting into coaching or leveling up their coaching should definitely give Erin a call and join our Life on Track coaching agency. Everyone I met so far has already shared so many new ideas on how I can level up my coaching.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. And Shalene?
Yeah, like echoing everything Andy said, I think for, to bring yourself to the level that your self-image is at, I think this has been a great, I feel like it's just been a great gift that, you've offered this to all of us, and, you just want to see us succeed as we want to see the people that we're coaching succeed. And you're there to hold our hand all the way through the interactions with people, which I also think is a huge gift. So for anybody that's wanting to get into coaching and not, sure or have apprehension about how they do it, I think with the team that you put together, as well as you, I just see that all of us are just going to soar to all new heights that we never knew possible because we're all together. It's not just doing it on our own. So yeah, anybody that's thinking about it, join the agency. We're a lot of fun.
Oh, that's right. And I want it to be, everything in life to be fun, because that's a high. Why have it be so heavy and so serious? And obviously transforming lives is a serious conversation, but it could be done in love, joy, and inner peace. It doesn't have to be so heavy. It's supposed to be done in love, joy, and inner peace. So thank you for sharing that, Shalene. And Joshua, closing thoughts?
I would say, going back again to King Solomon, he said, "In all you're getting, get understanding." So really understand your self-worth, who you are, right? Yeah. There's a phrase that says, "It's not that simple." I want you to understand that's a lie. It really is simply that simple. Figure out what you want, wake up, and go get it. Don't stop. You'll only lose if you stop. Yeah. You'll keep going, you'll get it, right? So just get that clear vision. I think Nike said it best when they said, "Just do it." Right? I'm not sure, right? They have the best slogan right there, right? And just do it, right? But and anybody that wants to sign up, that wants to talk to Erin, and obviously, she's a gem to work with. The one thing I would say is you have the power to live your life by design. You don't have to live it by default.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Joshua. Awesome. And Lisa?
Well, my advice is to find yourself a coach, because you'll get there a lot faster, and life is more fun with a team than it is by yourself. And find the right one.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you. And I say, as I'm known as the coach to the coaches. So as I'm coaching the coaches, and you guys have your clients, and you're acquiring more clients, and you have any questions, it's like you have a head neurologist, right? And then you have the team of doctors, and if they have a question about the patient, then they go to the head neurologist, and they meet every week and discuss it. And because I want to see you guys win, I want to see your clients win, and I make myself available, so I'm here for all of it. And like I said, I just love walking with you through this and giving you everything that I've got, because again, I want to see you and your clients win. So thank you so much for joining me here today for the Life on Track Coaching Agency. This was fun. And we'll have the next group on, 4 to 5 more on Friday. And you guys will meet them also. They're just absolutely amazing. We have an amazing team, amazing group, and it's an honor and a blessing, to be leading this. And you're just fabulous. You're just absolutely amazing. And my quote that I made up in 1991 that I say all the time is, Celebrate life, and you'll have a life worth celebrating. Right? So when you celebrate life, then life is a boomerang. That's the law of reciprocity. Again, this agency is just grounded in the law of assumption. And then also the law of reciprocity. What we put out into the world comes back, because life is a boomerang. So put out the love, joy, and inner peace, and then experience your best life. The money always comes. You know, when you do the right thing in life and you have that vision and you go and you make it happen and you're living in gratitude, you know, that's just the way the world works. And then the law of gratitude. Those are the three. So, all right, you guys, have a wonderful day. Have a magnificent day. And always remember to live onward and upward. Love you guys.